Welcome, everybody, to the Bee Guards podcast, the podcast on resilient beekeeping, where we focus on what we call exciting conversations related to bees. And today we talk about the work package 2, breeding for resilience, on the experience on what's going on in Italy, where they just now put up the breeding stations. And Raffaele, please tell us what's going on in Italy. We're very, very excited to hear. You are the first kind of starting up.
Hello, Fleming. Thanks for having me. Yes, actually, as we are the southernmost country participating in this study, we are having an early start. We were ready since June 2023 with the performance testing colony in order to start exploiting the mating season from this year, 2024. And as you know, in Work Package 2, we are having these two groups of sharing the same genetics among the groups, but with a different management, following a conventional management and more innovative management targeting resilience, especially with respect of parasites and environmental stressors from the bees. So our goal for this mating season was to establish the two separate mating stations where to breed the two different groups into the next generation. And I have to say that was quite a challenge during the winter because basically because of colony density we have in Italy. We have a huge colony density in most of the areas, and also because of difficulties in accessing the data where those colonies are located. We are quite lucky. We have a digital system run by veterinarians where beekeepers can register their hives. But of course, there are some privacy issues. There are some constraints in accessing those data. And given that we are running this study, we have the possibility to access those database and to select some, I cannot say bee-free area, but I can say low density areas, not far from Bologna, where CREA is established. Actually, one mating station is close to the Adriatic Sea, and the other mating station is in the city center of Bologna, so protected by a urban environment by other colonies, let's say.
So
Yeah.
what do you expect of a bee-free area? I mean, how low is the density? Can you?
So ideally, if you want to have an isolated mating area, we consider 5 kilometer radius from the mating station should be free from beehives, either managed beehives, ideally also from unmanaged feral beehives.
Mhm.
Of course, this is very hard to check. And this is in an ideal world. We might maybe get some kind of situation like this on minor island in Italy or in very remote mountain valley. Both situations are not accessible from Bologna, where we are, from a logistic perspective.
Mhm.
And so our compromise was to find area where at least in the 3 kilometer radius from the mating station, we had less than 50 colonies already known colonies, managed colonies. And we were quite lucky. Actually, those two areas have either a lower colony density, and we can hope to outplay the presence of the local drones with our selected drones. We pushed for drone production in our breeding colonies. So we are kind of trying to saturate the area with our drones, not only with respect to the amount we need to successfully mate our virgin queens, but also to outplay the presence of local drones. So in huge amounts.
So
And I
will
can
there kind
provide
of
you some number on that.
yeah, so will there be kind of a close contact to those local beekeepers in those areas? Do they get newsletters, phone
Uh,
calls, visits?
In the urban area, actually, there are no beekeeper in the nearby. So this was the luckiest situation. And the nearest apiary, which is close to this mating station, is also held by CREA. And so in that situation, we were able to put some drone excluder in the other colonies during the mating season, preventing those drones to contribute. Other than that, there are no big apiaries in the nearby, just because we are in the very city center of the city. So it's not an area which is suited for beekeeping. In the other mating station, we get in touch with the beekeeper that was running an apiary in the proximity of the mating station. He understood the value of the study, and he was happy to move those bees a bit further away, a couple of miles further away, in order to make us more isolated. And also, he is very keen on looking at the results. So he's expecting to receive also some queens from our improved generation in order to test our queens in his own operation. So he's also registering for the citizen science study that we will run starting from the next year.
But that's very, very nice that when beekeepers out there realize that there is also a mutual effect on science that can go on locally. So it really also can improve his own bee stock and his own bee breeding. So very nice.
Yes, he was very interested. And of course, I have to say that it's easier to find a compromise and to talk with beekeepers when you are in an area which is not so productive. And that's also another criteria we use it to choose this area. We wanted to stay a bit far away from areas that are known for honey harvest, because in that situation, of course, you will find more colony, and also beekeepers are a little bit more reluctant to find a compromise. In another situation is easier.
Okay.
And that was the case. So that was what we did during the winter, assessing the colony density, inspecting different location, and selecting where to locate the hives. Then we started already in April to prepare the apiaries, like ordinary stuff like cutting the grass, preparing the ground for placing the nooks and so on. And then we actually started at the mid of April by removing our queens from the performance testing colonies, because we wanted to not to select our breeders in these first years. We wanted all of the genetics to be able to contribute, but in a more natural way. So we didn't graft from those colonies, and we enabled those colonies just to raise their own queen cells. So there was no selection applied on the grafts, and there was no selection also applied on the drones. So we enabled all of those colonies to raise their drones by introducing a drone comb. Actually, it was a spare comb, not a drone comb. It was an empty frame.
Empty one, yeah.
Yes, and so we left each individual colony to behave as the colony was willing to, either raising drones or eventually build that comb for honey or for workers. So in that way, we believe that we captured the real strength and willingness of the colonies to reproduce. That was our concept behind that.
Okay.
And after 10 days, we then splitted those colonies, distributing all of the naturally raised queen cells in the different mating nooks. And then we established the mating station. First, we established the innovative mating station, which is the one which is close to the seaside. Right now, we have about 40 mating nooks and something like 13 drone producing colonies, so holding the drones. And in this week, actually, we expect matings are ongoing. On Friday, we plan the first check for mating.
Okay.
So that's the status. In the same was performed also in the conventional mating station, which is the one in the city. We simply shifted the operation of 1 week later, just not to overlap with the practical matter and have enough time to follow everything. So in that mating station, we were on Tuesday, so basically yesterday, to check the hatch of the virgin queens from the natural cells, and just to see how many real nukes we have in mating. So this is our plan. We now hope we will have a successful F1 mating, but as we are early starter, we will try to test this accelerated breeding strategy by letting the newly mated queen lay for a while, enough time to find new workers in the nooks, and enough eggs in more than one frame, because our goal is to collect those F1 queens, but to keep the nooks in the mating station in order to mate an F2 generation.
Uh-huh.
That is our goal.
Yeah.
Again, we will use the same strategy. We will remove the F1 queens. We will enable the nooks to raise their own queen cells. If there will be more than one queen cells, we will split the nooks before mating. And that's the way we hope to establish our F2 generation for the new performance testing next year. And this should ideally happen before mid-July. This
Uh-huh.
is our goal.
So this season here is really a startup season, so to say.
Yes, it is a startup season. We had several question mark in our protocols, and some of them were risky ones. I had to say we were lucky with the season. We didn't have a big harvest during the spring season. The season was not perfect for beekeepers, but I think we were lucky for our operation.
Okay.
I mean, swarming was very low in an area where it is normally an issue. We didn't have to control swarming too much. There was enough pollen when we decided to enable the colony to raise their own queen cells. They were willing to raise drones at the right time. Some of them were able to raise more than one drone brood cycle. So we have also freshly laid drones in the newly established mating nooks, ensuring us drones also for the F2 matings. So I think we were also lucky, I have to admit, and we will try to have a backup plan for the next year in order, because we cannot rely every year on luck. This year we were
Uh,
lucky enough, I say.
yeah, science should not be luck, but it helps
Yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes helps. And
Yeah.
when you deal with those practical issues where so many variables are involved, for instance,
Mhm.
in the last 2 weeks we had rain almost every day, which is quite unusual for Italy. That was complicating our field inspection, but at the same time was keeping the nooks together. We had a few hours during the day where the bees could fly, where the virgin could also start to orientate in the new area. So I think that those weather conditions, even they were not perfect for us, they were still good.
Brilliant. Very, very exciting. Do you have any feelings how the other mating stations are doing around Europe, or have you contacted them? Have
I
they
think
started?
I think they are now in the process of starting establishing the mating
Mhm.
station. They were about I would say 4 weeks back with respect to our time schedule.
Okay.
And as far as we go northern, that delay is increasing a bit.
Yeah.
Probably Polish colleagues, they will start now seeing some drone eggs probably, so they
Yeah.
will have to wait a bit before starting their breeding program. And actually in Poland, this is a bit different because they will go with the artificial insemination. rather than with the mating station.
Yeah, we are
So
very
yes,
skilled on that in Poland.
I think the other countries are a bit late with respect
Yeah.
of us, so they
I,
can
I
also rely on our experience in some situations.
I can tell you here in Denmark, this week we will have the first queen cells that are hatching this
Uh-huh.
week here. So
Okay,
it's kind of a month
kind of
behind, so
different.
to say. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm also running a small beekeeping operation outside Bigard. My first graft this year was March 19.
Okay, okay.
So
That's 2 months earlier
2 months
here.
earlier.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Okay, is there
So that's
more?
it. We
Is
are
there?
quite happy. We
Mm,
see people surrounding us that are becoming more and more curious, more and more engaged. As anytime we go to the mating station, they are showing up a little bit more. The owners, they are asking questions. They are asking also some materials eventually to share. One of I mean, the conventional mating station, which is in the city center of Bologna, actually, this is in a public park, in a public garden.
mhm.
And so the owner of this garden are asking for posters, for leaflets to distribute to the people in order to talk about the project and the importance of the bees and how we have to target resilience and how we have to protect pollinators in general, not only bees. So I can see really a supporting community around us, and that's a complementary task because we don't want to lose this motivation. We
I would
don't.
really,
Yeah,
yeah.
we are not only willing to accomplish our research goals, but we also want to create this buzz around our study.
Exactly. If you have the support of the beekeepers, the local people, then this will be a success. I'm very, very sure. So involvement is really important locally on the different places and in the
Yeah,
different
yeah,
countries. And
totally agree.
that's by the way what you and I we are working on as well within the
Yeah.
BeeGuard project.
Yes, yes, that's it. So communication, creating the community, a network of professionals, but not only professionals, also enthusiasts. It's really important to create a learning community. This co creation of
Yeah,
knowledge,
exactly.
it's really what we are targeting, and
Mm,
that's what we need.
mm. Okay,
So that's
Rafa.
it. I'm really happy today because I'm showing you our progress. I hope I can stay happy in a couple of weeks because
Mm,
now my real concern is on the matings. In one of the areas, the one on the coast, we were not really aware of that. We are on a migratory route of bee eaters, and so
ah,
that might be something spoiling our plans. I'm really curious to go on Friday and see how many are they and how close are they to our bees. I hope they didn't find our apiaries so far.
but yeah, we have to admit that beekeeping has lots of challenges. Luckily, you do not have Vespa velutina in your area, as far as I understood.
Not yet. We had a
No.
finding during last winter, not far
Okay,
from Bologna, but that
okay.
was an isolated finding of
Mm,
a nest, a big
mm,
nest actually,
mm,
but so far that was an isolated case. It was close to a river, so we
mm.
think that might have been moved to the river. But of course, this is a red alarm sounding, and actually the local beekeeping association this year started a monitoring
Yeah,
program. They were active already in the previous year, but this year it has been intensified because of this winter finding.
yeah. I have to say that's very, very important. Okay, Raffaele, thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Please,
Fleming.
please keep us updated. This is very, very exciting. So let's make, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 more podcasts
Yeah,
as soon
hopefully.
as you are progressing, and maybe we can get some of the other mating stations as well involved and see how they're doing in Poland and in other countries. So thanks to everybody joining us for this podcast. Stay tuned on our homepage, read our blogs, try to follow us on our social media where we actually are very, very active. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you or listen you next time.
Thank you everyone for listening. Bye.